The crash lit up the midnight sky like a second moon. Fire streaked through the clouds, burning up silence as it screamed across the atmosphere. It hit the earth with a deep, bone-shaking thud in the middle of Arizona's nowhere. No one should have been out there except for Cole. He was ex-military, ex-everything really. Lived alone, off-grid, just him, his solar panels, and enough canned beans to survive 2 apocalypses. He didn't like people, didn't trust governments, and sure as hell didn't expect the night to deliver him a spaceship in flames. Cole watched the smoking crater from a ridge, rifle slung across his back, boots steady on the loose rocks. He should have walked away. Told himself it was a satellite. Some billionaire's space junk. But something pulled at him. A hunch. A feeling. Like the kind he used to get before a mission went sideways. He started climbing down. The ship was a mess, charred, warped metal, cracked glass, hissing vents. He scanned it with military precision, checking for signs of life, threats, traps. Then he saw her. Her skin was blue, not painted blue, but like deep ocean under moonlight. Slumped against the side of the wreckage, bleeding. She was cradling something. A child. Cole blinked. The girl looked no older than 6. Same blue skin. Big silver eyes staring up at him. The woman raised her head slowly, pain etched into every line of her alien face. Her voice was weak, trembling, but her words were clear. "Take me as your concubine. Just, please, protect her." Cole froze. Did she say concubine? What the hell was going on? He stepped closer, squatting down to her level. "You're injured. We need to get you both to safety." She shook her head. "They will come. They always come. Hunters. She is my daughter. The last of my bloodline. We are royal fugitives. I will serve you, just protect her." He didn't have time to argue. The kid was shivering. The woman was fading. He scooped them both up, barely noticing how light they were. Alien or not, they were flesh and blood. And someone was hunting them. The cabin was a fortress, surrounded by cliffs and silence. Cole patched the woman up as best he could. She never gave a name, only watched him with those wide, luminous eyes. The girl stayed close to her, but started opening up, drawing in the dirt, copying the way he boiled water, asking questions in broken English. Cole called the woman Blue. Not out of disrespect, it just fit. She didn't argue. Night after night, he caught her staring at the stars, whispering things in a language that shimmered in the air. He saw the marks on her skin, scars, burns, symbols etched like brands. She wasn't lying. She'd been through hell. One evening, as the fire crackled and wind howled outside, she finally spoke more. "I was a princess. But my people betrayed us. My mate was executed. We fled. They want my daughter. Her bloodline carries something old. A code. A weapon. I don't know what." Cole nodded, jaw tight. "And the hunters? They're not men. They're machines. Flesh-covered. Programmed to exterminate all witnesses. If they found our crash site." She didn't need to finish. He loaded his rifle. The first attack came 3 nights later. The sensors Cole had buried pinged right before a tremor shook the ground. He grabbed his gear and headed out, leaving Blue and the child in a panic room he built years ago for a very different kind of apocalypse. The thing that came wasn't human. 9 feet tall, black as void, and humming with strange energy. It moved like liquid shadow, eyes burning white. Cole shot it. The bullets did nothing. He ran, luring it through a kill zone lined with explosives. It stepped on one and vanished in a flash of fire. But he knew there'd be more. Back at the cabin, Blue met him with a look that said it all. This was just the beginning. "You should have let us die," she whispered. "Too late for that," he muttered. Over the next week, they turned the cabin into a war zone. Cole taught her how to use human weapons. She taught him how to cloak their heat signatures, how to speak in signals only her kind could decode. And through it all, the child, Lyri, watched. Listened. She mimicked them. Learned fast. One night, as they sat under the stars again, Blue asked him, "Why do you help us?" "We are not your kind." Cole looked at the kid, curled up in an old army blanket. Because I've seen too many innocents get buried while the monsters walk away. Not this time. She studied him for a long moment. Then I will honor my vow. I am yours. He shook his head. You're nobody's property. You're free here. You stay because you want to. A flicker of something crossed her face. Hope, maybe. Or fear of it. But the silence between them was warmer now. Then came the broadcast. Late one night, the cabin's shortwave radio sparked to life. A garbled transmission, mostly static. But in the chaos, a few words emerged. Royal bloodline confirmed, terminate the vessel. Human accomplice, priority kill. Cole turned to Blue. They know. She nodded. They're coming. And she was right. By morning, 5 dark shapes hovered over the ridge. Not ships, living weapons. Machines of war bred for precision slaughter. Cole kissed Lyri's forehead. You stay hidden. No matter what. To Blue, he said, if I don't come back. Don't, she said. You will. The final battle was about to begin. And Cole wasn't ready to let anyone else die on his watch. The sky was burning again. Cole stood at the edge of the clearing, rifle slung tight across his shoulder, eyes locked on the shapes descending from the clouds. These weren't just drones. They were hunters, biological machines fused with ancient tech, fast, silent, merciless. He'd seen their kind in war zones years ago, back when he thought he was fighting for something that mattered. Now they were here, not for territory or control, but for a little girl with silver eyes and a bloodline that could tear galaxies apart. The first impact slammed into the ridge. Dirt exploded upward. Cole dropped low and bolted into the tree line. He'd laid traps, enough to buy time, but not enough to win. Blue's voice echoed in his ear through the makeshift comms they'd rigged. 2 landed south. 1 is near you. Be careful. He kept moving. The plan wasn't to fight them head-on. It was to lead them, draw them into the ravine where the EMP mines were buried. He reached the cliff's edge and saw the first hunter, a hulking shape, silver plates shifting like muscles over bone. It scanned the woods with eerie stillness. Cole triggered the mine. The explosion was blinding. The hunter spasmed mid-step, its inner systems shorting out in a shower of sparks. It fell, twitching. 1 down. But there were still 4. Back at the cabin, Blue paced like a cornered wolf. Her body still bore the marks of the crash, but she moved with a kind of grace that didn't come from strength, it came from fear sharpened into instinct. Lyri sat under the table, clutching the small pendant around her neck. It wasn't jewelry. It was a genetic key, a piece of her father's legacy, encoded with something ancient and forbidden. Even Blue didn't know everything it could do. We have to run, Blue muttered. But there was nowhere to go. Not on Earth. Not off it. Cole, she said into the radio, voice cracking. There are too many. You must leave us. You can still survive. His reply was calm, but it hit like thunder. I don't run. Not from this. Not ever. Cole circled wide around the second hunter, using the shadows like old friends. This one moved faster, sleeker frame, more agile. He didn't engage. Instead, he planted a motion trigger near the old well, then doubled back. The distraction worked. The hunter leapt toward the sound. Boom. This time, it wasn't enough. The thing rose from the debris, limping but alive. Cole gritted his teeth and opened fire. Armor-piercing rounds shattered ceramic plating. Wires sparked. The hunter turned, eyes glowing white. It charged. Cole dove, hit the slope, rolled hard, and slammed into a boulder. Wind knocked out of him, but he raised the rifle again only to see Blue leap from the shadows, knife in hand. She struck the base of the skull, where the machine's living tissue met synthetic bone. It screamed, a horrible static howl. And then it dropped. Blue stood over it, chest heaving. We do not run, she said. That night, the forest was silent. Too silent. Cole and Blue sat near the fire, the child asleep between them. They'll send more, she said. This was only a test. Cole nodded. I figured. She looked at him for a long time. Why do you care so much about someone else's war? He thought about it. About the wars he fought where no one came home. The friends he lost for lies dressed as flags. Because this time, I know who the good guys are. She smiled. Just barely. I was raised in a palace of lies. My mate believed we could change things. They executed him in front of me. But you are different. Cole didn't answer. He didn't need to. But he felt the shift in her voice, less fear, more something else. Something like trust. The third attack didn't come from the sky. It came from inside. Lyri woke up screaming. Her eyes glowed bright, brighter than they ever had. The pendant around her neck pulsed with a strange energy. It lifted from her chest and floated, spinning. Cole rushed in, rifle raised. Blue was already there, trying to calm her. It's reacting, Blue said, voice trembling. Her genes are activating the cipher. The weapon. What kind of weapon? Cole asked. Blue stared at the pendant. One that can rewrite biology. It was locked to her DNA at birth. It's why they want her. She can end bloodlines, or create them. The air trembled. The pendant burst with light and suddenly, Lyri collapsed. Cole caught her. She was alive. But different. Older. She's accelerating, Blue whispered. The code is rewriting her cells. She may not stay a child for long. Cole looked down at the girl who now seemed closer to 12 than 6. This wasn't just protection anymore. It was survival. For all of them. They had one option left. Blue revealed the truth the next morning. There's a facility. Not on Earth. Hidden on Titan's moon. My mate left a failsafe there. Coordinates encoded in the pendant. We can get there, but only if we reach the signal tower in the Rockies. It's the only uplink strong enough to call for extraction. Cole checked the maps. That tower was 400 miles north. How long until more hunters arrive? Hours. Maybe less. They packed light. Weapons, food, Lyri wrapped in a cloak. Her eyes were brighter now, her voice calm and strange. They're afraid of me, she said, once. I saw it. In their minds. They don't want me to live. Cole looked at Blue. Can she do that? She's becoming something new. Not just royalty. Something they didn't expect. Something dangerous. On the second day of travel, they found the ruins of an old military outpost. Cole knew the layout, he'd trained in one like it years ago. But this one was covered in vines, half buried by time. Inside, they found survivors. 2 of them. Civilians. A man and a woman. Engineers. They'd been hiding for months, surviving off old rations. We saw the ships, the man said. We thought it was over. Then we saw her. He pointed to Lyri. And dropped to one knee. She's the one, isn't she? The girl in the legends. The one they said would bring balance. Cole tensed. What legends? The woman stepped forward. Old alien tech buried here. Thousands of years. Some believed it told of a child who would control the blood of stars. We thought it was myth. Cole wasn't so sure anymore. Neither was Blue. That night, she sat beside him under the stars again. If we reach Titan, she said, you'll have to let her go. They will take her. Train her. Use her. You okay with that? She looked away. No. But I will do what I must. Cole nodded slowly. We all will. He didn't say it, but he knew. Something had changed in him. In her. In all of them. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about choosing the kind of world that came next. And they weren't done fighting for it. The wind howled through the peaks as the group pushed north, the Rockies rising like giants around them. Snow had started falling, light at first, then thicker. Cole moved point, eyes scanning the whiteout ahead. Behind him, Blue kept Lyri close, the girl's hood up, her breath visible in the freezing air. They were 2 days from the signal tower. Too far. Especially with what followed them. The hunters hadn't attacked again yet, but Blue felt them, tracking, closing in. Lyri, now visibly older, maybe 14 by human standards, had begun speaking less and seeing more. She didn't just look at people. She looked through them. One of them is already ahead, she said that morning. Waiting. Cole believed her. They reached a plateau just as night fell. Cole motioned for them to stop. He took a thermal scope and swept the ridge above. There. Heat signature. Too still to be an animal. We've got company, he whispered. What do we do? Blue asked. We go silent. We let me draw it out. Blue grabbed his arm. Don't be reckless. He smirked. Reckless is letting them take that girl. I'll be careful. He circled wide, silent as a ghost, boots crunching barely in the snow. The hunter was perched on a ledge, body cloaked in chameleon tech. Cole had to squint just to track it. He took aim. But before he could fire, it moved. Fast. Cole rolled, dodging a plasma blade that hissed through the air. He fired once, twice. The shots sparked off its armor. Then it lunged. They tumbled down the slope, locked in brutal hand-to-hand. The thing was stronger, but Cole was smarter, dirt in the eyes, broken branch to the neck, knife to the joint. He jammed a flash charge into its torso and kicked off. Boom. When he crawled up from the snow, smoke billowed behind him. The hunter twitched once. Then stopped. Cole staggered back to camp. Blue ran to meet him. You're bleeding. Better than dead, he muttered. She helped patch him up, hands shaking. You shouldn't have gone alone. I'm not losing this war because I was careful. He caught her eyes. There was fire in them. And something else. She leaned close. I told you I would be yours, she said. But I didn't expect you to become mine. Cole didn't answer. Didn't need to. The next day, the storm hit. Whiteout conditions. Zero visibility. They took shelter in an old ranger station, half buried in snow. Inside, it was freezing, but at least it was dry. Lyrie sat in the corner, eyes closed. She's dreaming again, Blue whispered. Cole watched the girl. Her breath was even. Too even. Not dreaming, he said. Processing. Lyrie spoke without opening her eyes. They built me in secret. My mother bore me in exile. My father infused the gene lock with truth. Now it wakes. I see timelines. Paths, futures. Blue stepped back, voice trembling. That's the weapon. Not destruction. Possibility. Lyrie opened her eyes. One path leads to fire. One to chains. One to peace. But peace requires sacrifice. Cole felt it then, cold certainty. Lyrie wouldn't stay with them. Not forever. The storm broke by morning. They set out again, every step heavier. The silence between them wasn't empty. It was filled with understanding. They reached the signal tower by dusk. It rose from the mountain like a forgotten sentinel, rusted, half frozen, but still functional. Cole powered the transmitter. It hummed to life, screen blinking with old alien symbols. Blue stepped forward, inserting the pendant. The console responded. Coordinates locked. Beacon active. Extraction in 12 hours, she said. But there was no time to rest. Because they were already here. The hunters descended without warning. No ships. No sound. Just movement. 5 of them. This time fully upgraded adaptive armor, plasma blades, eyes like white suns. Cole didn't wait. He moved. Claymore mines lit the snow. Screams. Sparks. Lyrie stood in the center of the field, untouched, her eyes glowing. Stop, she shouted. The hunters froze mid-charge. They shook, vibrating with static. Lyrie walked forward, snow swirling around her like a shield. She touched the first hunter's chest. It dropped to its knees. Your orders are obsolete, she said. The code has changed. One by one, they shut down. Blue collapsed in tears. Cole stepped beside Lyrie. What did you do? I rewrote their purpose. You can do that. Now I can. The air shimmered. A portal opened. Extraction. 2 figures stepped out, armored, humanoid, but non-threatening. Blue recognized them. Loyalists from her world. We've come for the Empress, one said. Lyrie stepped forward. Then stopped. He comes too, she said, pointing to Cole. Blue stared, wide-eyed. That's not allowed. The envoy paused. She is the Empress. If she commands it. Cole raised an eyebrow. You sure about this, kid? Lyrie smiled, for the first time in days. We are not done. They stepped into the portal together. Behind them, the mountain was silent again. Ahead of them, an empire waited. They emerged on the other side of the portal into a world of silence and silver. The sky above was a permanent dusk, rippling with soft auroras. Twin moons cast gentle light over the landing platform, smooth, metallic, alien, and ancient. Titan's atmosphere filtered every sound, making even footsteps feel reverent. Cole looked around, rifle still slung across his back. Blue stepped beside him, eyes wide with memory and grief. This was once a place of peace, she whispered. Before the bloodlines poisoned it. Lyrie stood ahead, taller now, more composed. Something regal radiated from her, not learned but born. Her voice carried weight now. It will be again. Inside the sanctuary, the loyalists prepared the chamber. Massive doors opened to reveal a hall of glass and crystal, pulsing with energy. A throne stood at the far end, not for power, but for connection. To the archives. The code. The legacy. Lyrie approached slowly. My father died to protect this. My mother ran. A soldier gave us sanctuary. Now it's my turn to decide what this power will be. She turned to Cole. You came into our world with nothing. You asked for nothing. You saved us anyway. Cole shrugged. Didn't seem like a choice. That's the difference, she said. The tyrants always think they don't have a choice. You knew you did. And still chose us. Blue stepped forward. It's time. Lyrie nodded. She stepped into the throne and placed the pendant into the core. Light exploded across the hall. Code poured from the walls, ancient language flowing like water. Memories not just of her family, but of her entire species, wars, betrayals, peace, love, loss, and possibility. Hours passed. The light faded. When it was over, Lyrie stood changed, but not in form. In purpose. The weapon is gone, she said softly. I reprogrammed it. It will no longer kill. It will heal. It will grow. She turned to Blue and Cole. We have a home now. And I want you both to be part of rebuilding it. Cole hesitated. I don't belong here. You do, Blue said, gently. You always did. In the days that followed, Titan became a beacon. The remaining hunters were repurposed, peacekeepers now. The sanctuary broadcast a new message into the stars, not of domination, but invitation. Races across galaxies, once afraid, began to respond. Cole stayed. Not as a soldier. Not even as a protector. But as someone who finally found something worth staying for. He taught others how to fight, not to destroy, but to defend. How to survive. How to choose the hard path when it mattered. Blue became an ambassador, walking the halls with wisdom earned through suffering. She and Cole rarely spoke of the vow she once made. They didn't need to. Their bond had outgrown it. As for Lyrie, she was no longer a child. No longer a fugitive. She was a symbol. Not of power, but of mercy. Years passed. Titan flourished. The bloodlines that once corrupted it faded. In their place grew something better. Something earned. Cole stood one evening by the edge of a crystalline garden, stars reflecting in the water. Blue joined him. Do you regret it? She asked. He shook his head. No. You. Never. They watched as Lyrie walked among new visitors, species he couldn't name, laughing, learning, sharing stories. She changed everything, Cole said. Blue smiled. No. She gave us the chance. You helped us take it. Moral ***. Strength doesn't come from blood or power. It comes from choice. From protecting what's right even when the world says walk away. From mercy when revenge is easy. From standing beside those who can't stand alone. Sometimes, saving a single life can rewrite the fate of an entire galaxy. And sometimes, the one thing that saves the future is the heart of a soldier who thought he had nothing left to give. But gave everything anyway.